Hey guys, what's going on? 845 Sports Cars coming out of New York's Hudson Valley once again. It's a beautiful time of the year. We are around Christmas time, all month of December. It's time to celebrate and share time with our families, celebrate the season. It's a beautiful time of year, and one of my favorite things in the hobby is when YouTubers show off their top collections. So some guys will show up top 100, top 25, top 50. Some guys have some absolutely astounding collections. I'm very proud of my collection, and I'd like to share with you guys now. I'm going to break it up into two parts, 50 to 26 and 25 to number 1. This will be the part that shows 50 to 26. Just for your perspective, the cheapest card, or the least valuable card here, $175. Most valuable card you see today is at $350. I'm going by Vintage Card Prices average price. I like Vintage Card Price average price because it knocks out outliers. If there's a very high sale, they'll knock it out. If there's a very low sale, they'll knock it out, and they'll just average the relevant sales. It works a lot better when there is a lot of sales. So some of the older vintage cards, you don't see lots of sales. It gets a little trickier, but for the most part, it seems to be a good way. No one sale will knock the average out of whack. So before we start top 50, I'm going to show you a card here. It's an honorable mention. The reason it's not on the top 50, even though I believe it should be, is because Vintage Card Prices has no idea how to value this. This is a 1994 Topps Archive Hank Aaron on-card auto in a BGS 8. So I pulled this card out of a pack myself in 1994. And at the time, we didn't know how to grade autograph cards. It was an on-card auto pulled out of a pack. We didn't know how to do this other than Beckett. Beckett did grade autograph cards, so we sent it in. You could tell this is a very, very old Beckett holder because the subgrades are on the back. Centering by far the worst. Came in as an 8. That 7.5 is really holding it down. So 9.5 for corners, beautiful corners. 9 edges, 8.5 for surface, but the centering really holds it down. But this is an on-card auto of Hank Aaron, pulled out of a pack, a 1994 Topps Archives. I believe this card was limited to 1,954 copies. That hasn't been published. They're not numbered, so we're not really sure. But back then, it really wasn't done that way, so we're not really sure. But I think an on-card auto, when you look at other on-card autos of Hank Aaron, the 5 stars and things of that nature, they're a couple $100. So to say this isn't a couple $100 would be insane. Some have sold, different grades, but to pin down exactly what this is worth is hard. My guess would be somewhere between $300 and $500, but it's a beautiful card. It's for my PC. I'm never going to sell it because I pulled it myself, and I love it. So anyway, moving right along. Just want to thank all the other YouTube contributors that have led the way. New York Yanks Fan 7, Josh Rated Rookie, Mike Baseball Collector, Silver Jackify. Everybody that does these countdowns have inspired me not only to start a YouTube channel to begin with, but also to do this countdown because I love their content, and I hope you guys will appreciate what I have to offer. So, starting out at number 50, we have 1981 Topps Nolan Ryan and a PSA 9. I am actively pursuing my Nolan Ryan Topps run on the PSA set registry. I'm 2 cards short, so you will see a lot of Nolan Ryan cards here. I'm trying to get them in high grade as possible within reason. A PSA 10 in this card would be just very expensive, prohibitively expensive for me. So this card's $175. It's a beautiful card. It's part of the registry. 81 Nolan Ryan. Next card up. New York Yankee fan. I watched that dynasty in the 90s and 2000s. The Yankees and Bernie Williams was a big part of it out in center field. There's this Bowman Tiffany card. Tiffany's have that glossy finish. So Bowman Tiffany, Bernie, and PSA 10. Gonna get tired of saying PSA 10 at some point, but for all the modern cards, I try to get them in 10s. 94, Jorge Posada rookie, PSA 10. If you look back in the history, I paid $300 for this card. That is the highest sale of this card in history, and I own it. But that was back in 2021 when card prices were inflated and nobody really knew what they had, and this is a pretty rare card, low population. So I needed it, I wanted it, I got it, and I paid for it. Posada and a 10. Albert Pujols future Hall of Famer, 2001 Upper Deck rookie, and a PSA 10. Fat Albert. And we throw it back to some vintage cards. So what you'll see here is a 1954 Red Heart Dog Food Richie Ashburn and a 6. And you can tell by the PSA label, the number starting with a 1 as opposed to a 4 or an 8 or a 9. No hologram in the back, no hologram in the front. This is a very Collectors Universe company, no longer belongs to Collectors. This is a very old label and a very old card, but my father and myself would go around to baseball card shows, and when he spotted these cards, he looked at the backgrounds, he looked at the players, and he would snatch these up whenever he could. So there's a couple of Red Hearts in this countdown. One day I'll put together the complete set. There's really only 2 very expensive cards in this set, the Mantle and the Musial. I have neither, but I do have this Richie Ashburn in a 6. This Ashburn, about $215. Next up, my Steve Carlton rookie. Again, look at that label. PSA starts with a 0. How many of those do you have? So Steve Carlton rookie and a PSA 6. This was a card that we bought raw at a card show. Sent it in ourselves to PSA and came back a 6. If you were to buy this today, it set you back about $215. I'm not sure what we paid for it, but it certainly was not that. Back to Nolan Ryan. Our 1974 Nolan Ryan is a PSA 8. Part of our complete Topps run. Next card. Another card with a 0 that we sent in ourselves, bought raw. Sent in ourselves a long, long time ago. Ricky Henderson rookie. An iconic card. PSA 8. And a PSA 8, this will run you about $230. The 9s are like $2,000. And the 10s are like $125,000. So I'm okay with my 8. We bought it raw. I love Ricky. I love this card. And it's my copy, so. There's another cool card right here. It's a Bob Uecker rookie. There's Bob Uecker right there. Uecker, much better known as being an actor and a broadcaster. We bought this card, again, raw at a show. I never graded it because I didn't think it'd be worth a lot, but then the COVID spike happened, things started to change. I said, you know what, let me throw these in an SGC order. And this one came back surprisingly in a 4. This is a very hard set, the 62 set to grade because of the wood grain borders. So we got a 4 on it, and as a SGC 4, it's about $230. Bob Uecker. Back to modern. Miguel Cabrera, another future Hall of Famer. Gem 10, no doubt about it. 500 home run club. That's his rookie. Topps traded in a 10. Back and forth to vintage. There's a Hank Aaron card. It's not his rookie. 54 Topps would be his rookie. There is no 54 Bowman. This is his first Bowman card, so that would be worth something if he was a modern player. First Bowman of Hank Aaron, the TV set design. 1955 Bowman. And this we sent in ourselves. Old PSA label. VG3 on the Hank Aaron. It's an awesome card. Back up. Derek Jeter, the captain. Back to our Yankees run. We have a lot of Yankees cards here from that era, the mid to late 90s, early 2000s. And right before COVID actually started, that whole big spike before that, I picked up a bunch of Derek Jeter rookies in 10 because I figured they'd be a good investment. Little did I know they'd 5X during the pandemic height, and they've came back down to earth. But the Topps base rookie in the 10, about $275. I would love to get my hands on a gold in 10. Those prices have come down, but I haven't picked one up. Speaking of coming down in price, we got the Upper Deck SP foil. This is an impossibly difficult card to grade because of the foil surface. I got an 8 here. Don't ask me what I paid for it because it's embarrassing how much this thing used to go for and how inexpensive they are right now. We're looking at $280 right now for the 8. The 9s are still expensive. I mean, don't get me wrong. The 9s are still over $2,000. And the 10s are this 22 PSA 10s in the Pop Report. Those are still, 6 figures. So forget that nonsense. The Jeter Upper Deck Gem 10. This is the silver hologram. The gold holograms are much more rare and expensive. I got my silver hologram, Derek Jeter, PSA 10. 93 Bowman Jeter, PSA 10. Bowman's here. 294. Jeter. And we break in 300 here with another modern card, Pete Alonso. Draft picks auto from 2016 Bowman Draft. So it's his first Bowman auto, top certified autograph. Pete Alonso and a PSA 10. This is just the base auto, not numbered on the back. A little bit higher in the countdown, you'll see something better. But this is the base. Pete Alonso, I think no matter where he ends his career, he's a special player. So we got his first Bowman auto and a 10. Speaking of special players, now we got a Ken Griffey Jr. run here. We got 89 Donruss and a 10. Beautiful, beautiful card. One of the most graded cards ever. This one's in a 10, and you look at the corners, you can make the argument. That's a clean card. Donruss in a 10. And 89 Bowman in a 10. It's the larger card, but definitely a beautiful set. Griffey's rookie in a 10. Bowman, about $311. Next card up. Number 32 on the list. Barry Bonds, Fleer Update rookie. Had a Fleer Update in the PSA 10. It's a Barry rookie out of Fleer. Going back to vintage. Harmon Killebrew. A killer. This card received a near mint 7 with an OC qualifier. I'm going to say that the left to right centering is where the off-centeredness is. I do plan to send this back to PSA. It's a very, very old label with the 0. I don't like the qualifier. I priced this because of the qualifier as a PSA 5, knocking it down. PSA 5 in this card's $320. That's what I'm valuing it at, because I assume if I send it in, it'll probably get a 5. I do plan to do that in the future. And again, if I do that, I'll show it off to you guys. Next card up. Number 30 on the list, Lou Brock rookie. Lou Brock, prior to Ricky Henderson, he was the stolen base king. Lou Brock in a 6, and they call that a collector's grade. It's from the 1960s, and it got a 6. From the 70s, a 7 would be a collector's grade. The 30s, a 3, so I could live with this grade. It's a nice card. Again, one of the ones we bought raw a long, long time ago. If you look back at some of the older cards, we probably would have consecutive serial numbers because we sent in a couple orders all together. But this is our Lou Brock rookie in a 6. Beautiful card. 29. Back to Red Heart Dog Food. Warren Spahn in a 7. That's a nice. That's a really high grade for a Red Heart Dog Food. These came in dog food packages, obviously. Brilliant background. Just solid colors. Nice images. A lot of Hall of Famers in this set. If you didn't know, Red Heart was the big league dog food. There's a Red Heart Warren Spahn in a 7. Something completely different now. My Perez Steel Hall of Fame autograph postcard of Ted Williams. This came in as a PSA authentic, as it isn't a card. It's a postcard, not a trading card, not a baseball card. It's a postcard, and they are numbered to 10,000. This came out of the Hall of Fame series. This year, the year on this is 1981. So this card is from 1981. It's an image from Perez Steel, and this particular one was autographed after the fact. 10,000 total population of these cards. I don't know how many are autographed, but mine is. It's a nice autographed in blue Sharpie. Teddy Ballgame, the greatest hitter to ever live. Vintage Card Prices has this pegged at $328. Next card up, my Barry Bonds Topps Traded rookie. I would love the Tiffany version, but again, prohibitively expensive. Here's my Topps Traded Barry in a 10. Maybe one day he'll make the Hall of Fame. You cannot deny his stats, his contribution to the game, his tenacity, his play. I mean, arguably second best player behind his uncle Willie Mays. But Barry Bonds, some may disagree with me, but I saw the man play in person and have never seen anybody like him. So there's my Barry and a 10 at the tops. And number 26, rounding out this video, Frank Robinson rookie. Only man to win. Nope, I take it back. I was about to say the only man to win an MVP in both leagues, but Shohei Ohtani just pulled that off. So Frank Robinson, first man to win an MVP in both leagues, National and American. Here's Frank Robinson's rookie when he was on the Cincinnati Redlegs. This one, collector's grade, PSA 5, 0 on the serial number, very old label. Again, much like all these, bought raw, submitted ourselves back in the mid-90s, I would say, and we got a 5. So that's from 50 all the way up to 26. Thank you guys for watching. 845 Sports Cards, the Hudson Valley, where we have Hall of Famers, we have legends, we have controversial figures, hit the camera there, controversial figures, but they're all my PC. That was 50 to 26. Next time we'll bring up from 25 down to number 1, a very different strata of cards, but they're all my PC. Let me know what your guys' favorite card is in this this countdown. Comment down below, share, subscribe, like, and I'll see you guys pretty soon.